Welcome to the futuristic world of RoboSheep in the year 2024 with advanced technology. Behind me, the irrigation system is running. Everything is being prepared for the season and for appearances on the YouTube channel. However, I have already expended numerous hours conducting tests this year. As I declared in the previous year, our testing and research facility in South Africa has commenced operations. And ultimately, I was very impressed by Zucchetti's new RTK cable load technology, which is standing by my side. We have scrutinized the subject matter extensively, and although nobody currently possesses it, I am able to present to you Hetty's 4.0 real-time kinematic all-wheel drive for the very first time on this day. Next to that, I've created the Husqvarna EPOS 550 as the previous flagship, and one of the top RTKs back there, the Stiga. I have the ability to inform you. The father is present at that place, and there is no lack or deficiency in his presence. He is the godfather of the robots. Utilizing a 436 power sickle mower, he moves with an unprecedented level of quality that was previously unimaginable, showcasing his mastery in the field of robotics. It is similar to what I always say so nicely: one has a household that is wet and prone to moisture. It's unimaginable what's going on there. The cutting quality, a blade mower, as we know it from the other faction, which leaves every second blade of grass standing. That wasn't important before because one has driven over it 1,000 times. In the RTK lanes world, the world looks completely different. Suddenly we have to mow perfectly like lawn robots used to do before. Well, and there we have it all. Real-time kinematic, RTK, hybrid installation. A comprehensive set of sensors that now make the real-time kinematic RTK world possible. By the way, that was the reason why Zucchetti waited so long for it. As I said, the farmer's mower and all-wheel drive. The godfather of the robots, the father is here. This is what we're taking a close look at, examining it carefully. By the way, there are no cameras installed because the camera, well, we will talk more about it in this video. It's just one of those things. Yes, and again, briefly about the mowing quality. What has been mowing on this area with me so far? There he stands all the way back. Stihl's old lawn robot. And I believe that the corporate strategists at Stihl, particularly now with RTK and lane mowing, might be a little irritated that they have thrown this dream mower overboard. One of the finest lawn robots we have had up to this point. Regrettably, there is no longer the identical mowing quality. For the maneuvers in which RTK is not appropriate, we have devised a solution for this year, and we will fabricate a highly optimized vintage 632 design using the remaining inventory of the complete RoboSheep collection. For those of you who want something really awesome again this year. So what can you expect in this video? A few more words about the RoboSheep group, which are, as always, necessary. And regarding the YouTube channel, we will dive straight into the news that is available. Regarding the wireless aspect concerning the wired aspect, the usual candidates like the newly launched Luba 2, EcoFlow Blade, EcoVac, and all the other options that are available. A total of 20 new Chinese manufacturers are approaching you. Let's take a closer look at our technology radar for a bit. My beloved subscribers, never before has the opportunity been so tremendous for you to easily invest your money into something that does not function. What emerges and what I see on my test grounds is simply adventurous. Therefore, I strategically decided to proceed a bit more unvarnished and aggressive because I am simply totally annoyed by what is happening at the moment, that there is actually a rip-off. The customer's desire for wireless navigation is unabashedly and shamelessly exploited for maximum gain. Here, a business field has been discovered that allows for incredible sales, and one comes with a technology that definitely cannot function adequately. In the past, we have refrained from doing this, but this year we will explore it more thoroughly. Why is this possible for me? Because of you subscribers. Nearly 12,000 are now making this YouTube channel in the niche of lawn robots, to one of the most significant in the world. And every subscription from you assists in kicking the manufacturers in the butt. Simply omit the bells, provide us with a subscription. It is actually the size that affords me the chance to openly enlighten you in this space. 12,000 sounds relatively small for large YouTube channels now, but today we are not testing cordless drills, vacuum cleaners, or tools. Our sole focus is on this product, and there is absolutely no other content present on the channel. And with that, as all experts on the internet inform us, it is a number that is deeply impressive and leaves a lasting impact. Thanks so much for that. Yes, my dear ones, the famous question of independence. Thank you for the comment recently where someone wrote to me, how much did a Husqvarna shell out for the beautiful last expert video on RTK? I can inform you there was not a solitary euro. The RoboSheep Group experienced the most prosperous year in its history in the year 2023. And do you know what is even worse? We have already sold approximately almost 1/3 of the sales from last year. The year 2024 will be absolutely crazy. We are beginning anew in Munich West, in Munich East, in the city of Hamburg, in the town of Bremen, near the city of Erfurt, near the city of Bonn, and in the country of Austria. Southern Styria, Lower Austria, and Southern Burgenland are the new locations that we will put into operation this year. And I hope I haven't forgotten about the cutting edge now. And the reason for that is the independence from the manufacturers. And you can trust me, I assure you, as far as I stand here, I will not tell any nonsense or spout any foolishness for a tricky euro from any of them and jeopardize or endanger the whole business model. All you see here is for independence. We don't hide it. No secrets, just a clear goal. The YouTube channel is one of our major advertising sources for the RoboSheep Group, but you get exactly what I'm telling you here. The systems that we believe are functioning. In this particular context, we were able to commemorate one of our largest achievements of all time. The impact on one of the leading manufacturers, Solo by Arco, which was developed in Germany and is produced in Austria, has brought us a unique model. The initial one we could all extract from production collectively, and then we all enrolled and signed up for the superior quality of the robot. Here we will present the best lawn robot up to 1,000 square meters of all time this year, with a sustainability like never before. Over a decade, our promise is that you can combine flawless functionality with the lowest costs throughout the entire 10-year period. There is no other item that you can buy which is more affordable than this machine from Solo. And also here, no secret, it is operating in such high quality because we maintain a vigilant watch on it. Yes, let's get to it. Let's separate the wheat from the chaff a bit. This is purely symbolic, with the lineup on the left and right. I will commence with Luba at this moment. Luba 1 is present with me, while Luba 2 will receive a camera. The Segway, positioned at the front, armed with a camera. I'll share the link to my video Wireless 2, where we extensively covered cameras, discussing dirt and scratching in detail. You can drive it with a cam if you like, but my view is 3 error MSGs daily when pollen is outside, clean the cam. Nobody needs it. RTK is not enough to navigate reliably, especially in small, intricate properties like almost everyone has, with narrow passageways. Just like the image above, it's simply difficult with RTK, and then you need a supplement. Yes, and then one must openly ask oneself, does wireless navigation on a certain size property still make sense considering the overall effort and difficulties one faces? But returning to the camera, EcoFlow blade appearing incredibly stunning in the promotional video. The device is equipped with camera and LiDAR sensors. Yes, it has LiDAR sensors and camera sensors. Hey guys, I just purchased a super cool vacuum robot from Duimi. It's absolutely amazing. A very costly item priced at 1,300 euros. And inevitably one wonders why this enchanting navigation in the garden is not functioning. Yes, it's quite simple. Wireless 2, the video, the dirt, the issue, the problem with the camera, pressure air sensors, LiDAR sensors, camera sensors, just forget about it. There will still be error messages. There will still be instabilities that we as specialized dealers cannot. So much for the Luba 2, which of course wants to compensate for its RTK weaknesses with a camera system. Of course, this year we will be looking at the Luba 2 on the YouTube channel. And that immediately raises the question, why do European manufacturers with 20 years of lawn robot experience choose to forego cameras compared to the Chinese? That's quite simple, my dear ones. They rejected it 10 years ago. That's how it looks. None of the Europeans, whether it's Stiga, Solo, Zucchetti or Husqvarna, rely on camera, LiDAR and other sensors, and don't believe it not because you don't have the money for it, especially Husqvarna, but because one simply doesn't believe in it. And it was clearly proven last year that real-time kinematics, RTK, is insufficient for small, intricate plots. To accomplish that, you merely need to pay a visit to the respective internet forums located at Segway, Luba and Stiga. If you want to have stability, then you are exactly the kind of freak who can live with an error message every day and, depending on the growth of the trees, has to reprogram the RTK system so operates it with the app, then it might be right for you. Yes, a warm welcome from the Schilcher folks, our all-wheel drive test track. And this year it will be especially exciting with Luba 2 Zucchetti 4.0 Elite AWD, and of course, as you can see in the picture below, the fully tuned Husqvarna 535 bike. Yes, my dear ones, that was certainly a dramatic representation of what can happen, but you really need to think this through. If you take such a thing onto the road, then you are privately responsible if you have installed it incorrectly. And it should be a little eye-opener showing how quickly everything happens when a wheel motor is decoupled. And now let's take a brief glimpse at why this doesn't happen with a mower that complies with European standards and regulations. Based on the 535X from Husqvarna. I have now held it here and completely powered it off, and when I release it, there is a purely physical steering response. This means that even if the robot has no power at all, it will drive completely sideways and will not come onto the road. Yes, and Zucchetti's Elite all-wheel drive AWD does it in a unique and distinct way. Located at the front, we even have a supercapacitor to position the front wheels at a 45-degree angle in case of power failure without causing immediate shaking or instability. And so, with the passage of time, the sun gracefully descends, painting the sky with its warm colors, as if bidding a fond adieu to the day, my cherished ones. Although not such good pictures, it's a bit more pleasant for me, so I hope that was a bit impressive to give you something to think about, and especially in your direction, dear retailers. It moves rapidly, and in this instance, what I have demonstrated to you there, all criteria are not fulfilled. And I simply see these things driving everywhere in the area, borderless up to the federal highway. If an actual event occurs there, you can safely assume that it is a genuine problem that needs to be addressed. Just one more time, if I push it now, you see the wheels nearly stop. However, it is merely sufficient to become powerless due to some technical reason, such as the current shutdown. Now he acknowledged it to me and the thing rolls on its own. While we're at it, let's stick with him, with Luba. And please don't see this as an attack on him. By the way, he mentioned during the previous year one of my largest mistakes on the YouTube channel that I deeply regret. And in my first video, I disastrously said in 2023 novelties, if that works, I'll shut down the company. Yes, and over the course of the year, but I noticed it in my video, he turned out to be a huge surprise. By the way, I referred this statement to turning and sliding and to the damages that occurred on the lawn. and they are actually much less severe than I expected. That's why I also don't really understand the omnidirectional wheels in the new League, because I think the damages were actually not significant now. The robot isn't suitable for small, tight and intricate plots. Weaknesses converge in these scenarios. However, on the large slopes, he has unexpectedly demonstrated good performance. What other information is available regarding Lua? Naturally, Lua reached out to us, inquiring if we would be interested in serving as a service center alongside the RoboSheep team for the roof area. I then had a long phone call with the Europe CEO of Mammotion, with Yusuf. That was an exciting discussion about how repairs are envisioned in the future. From what I gathered, there are plans for a central service center in Germany where the robots will be sent for major repairs when they encounter an issue. Yes, this could certainly become a significant problem for us as well, but there are certainly vulnerabilities that need to be addressed. These vulnerabilities currently exist primarily in RTK and, of course, the overall stability of the system. So our customers definitely don't wait 2 months for a repaired robot in May. We need to have something out within a few days, and I don't need to tell you that due to the seasonality, we need a few hundred spare devices, and they're just not available. Therefore, we will continue to look into this. We will see what Mammotion is up to. This year, particularly in my videos, obviously, yes, perhaps an additional comment regarding the camera. As you can see, even here with the Segway, I will report to you this year the camera's benefits compared to pure RTK operation, but now there is a protective cover on it, you can see. That's a bit concerning in the delivery state because you already fear that a scratch might occur in the box. Well, then you can imagine now how it looks up front when it goes under bushes. Specifically, similar to every location, the housing has numerous scratches. There is once again a mention of wireless too. However, there is another subject. Each individual must make a decision on how to handle it. However, these data are utilized by manufacturers for the purpose of improving and enhancing their systems and processes. And that means high-resolution images from your garden. If we deliver such a system, which we actually do occasionally with the Segway, then we must make sure that our customers sign a privacy policy agreement. And I also suggest this to each specialist dealer because the images will be processed by the system. And anyone who knows Shenzhen, I got to know it in another project with the Chinese, which we will discuss in this video. There are no gardens in that area. And the camera systems are also present to acquire knowledge of the visual appearance in that location. Yes, everyone must decide for themselves. For me, it's a no-go to send images. And for me, there's a second significant dimension added. I have entered into confidentiality agreements with other manufacturers in the past. And high-quality pictures of my testing location, they simply do not work effectively. Stiga. Yes, indeed, a very good RTK system with the typical RTK weaknesses. I made a promise to bring the experts in front of the camera briefly, and will soon release a video featuring the experts specifically for retailers to give people a chance to get to know them a bit more. There will be a talk on wireless navigation and autonomy at Stiga, presented by Michael Buchbauer and Josef Urschitz, providing insights into this topic. Michael is the CEO of Stiga Austria and one of the fathers of the lawn robot. Then see for yourselves in the expert video how the industry argues. And I can assure you in the YouTube channel, there will be a focus this year on what the Stiga fleet can do, where the weaknesses are. One is always impressed with a sensational blade mower. Therefore, a blade mower that achieves a special cutting speed is highly remarkable. You have much stronger cutting motors, you have protection, you can drive at much higher speeds with it. NormTech, and you saw it standing behind in the spring, it actually provides an impressive cut pattern. What truly works with Stiga? We will demonstrate it to you today. Naturally, the manufacturer sensibly avoids non-functional sensors, cameras that do not work, and instead incorporates a patented logic in the RTK system, which we will delve into deeply and thoroughly explore. Additionally, it is worth mentioning that you can easily get lost while exploring the Stiga homepage and take a look at the prices of the RTK autonomous fleet, and compares it with numerous other manufacturers. And I can inform you, here is also a company with 2 decades of experience, even though for setting up the RTK installation, as with any RTK installation, it necessitates considerably more expertise than for an installation with cables. In any case, an exciting focus this year will be on the Stiga 1500 model in particular, and then there are even smaller ones available, but it makes perfect sense due to the technical data. And then 5000s, 1000s, and it's not a secret. With the cutting quality, others who currently dominate on the football field will really struggle. My dear ones, now it's getting really exciting. Now we have the tip of the iceberg standing before me, and that in duplicate. Once the large 436 version with a 36-inch farmer's mower is introduced, that's when things truly start to become serious and require utmost attention. And in this case, also with all-wheel drive, meaning the front wheels are driven. In my opinion, with such an expensive robot, all-wheel drive is a must, because 500 euros more than the regular drive version. As it becomes highly fair, this gives it a naturally occurring characteristic in the 436R Lite RTK variant of the product. Without all-wheel drive and with all-wheel drive and in the 4.0, you already see a lot shorter with a 25er mower, much more agile in this case, also with all-wheel drive and RTK. There we still have the packaging inside. There are brand new robots. With him, I will be by your side throughout this year, particularly on an extremely private property. He goes to my customer where all real-time kinematic systems have failed miserably up until this point in time, and where we will thoroughly flush out the new sensor technology, which, by the way, is not cameras from front to back. So one of the main focuses is, of course, the RTK fleet from Zucchetti. And let me tell you one thing, not even, how do I put this best, half of the Zucchetti dealers, and I know I will now be scolded by you again, but it's just the way it is, are not able to install the thing. And when it comes to self-installation, you need to keep your hands off. As an end customer, you do not even have the necessary tools or authorizations to sufficiently access and install something like that on your own. It is important to leave it to the professionals, not to mention it works like that. Regrettably, this occurred to Hetty, from our viewpoint, one of the top lawn robots globally in Germany. It falls into disrepute, not because it is bad, but because it is a full professional system. And if we can perhaps compare it a little to having an inexperienced person repair a Porsche for us at the present time. Dear animal-loving customers, pay close attention to where you buy it, otherwise it won't work out. And in situations where we have a specific location, it goes without saying, of course, that we are able to do that. So, my beloved ones, now let's proceed to the matter of the entire wireless conversation. Do you have anything in the cable then? Yes, of course we have something in the cable. And we firmly believe that the RTK wireless setup with all the madness for the typical small plots you see back there doesn't pay off from front to back, where you always have passages with GPS shadows, where you have growing trees, where you just can't drive with RTK and then need a camera and all sorts of unnecessary things. Yes, and clearly explain to the customer who is the appropriate customer for wireless navigation services and products. And for wireless navigation, it has to be a bit of a freak who plays by himself, who programs by himself, who knows how to operate an app at that point, who is ultimately also willing to experience error messages when the robot gets stuck, but who certainly should not expect that the edges are perfectly mowed and that I should not expect the robot to run smoothly during vacation. No, you will be required to rescue him once every alternate day and 3 times per day without fail. Not so with the cables. And to abbreviate this entire tiresome cable issue a bit, where does the desire for wireless primarily come from? Yes, no, not from inexpensive cables that solely cause issues. I'd like to suggest a video linked above, cable quality, then it will work for 20 years and you won't have the whole issue of animal bites and so on. You will have an up-to-date edge cut. You don't have anything that beeps on the app. There is no meeting planned. You possess an incredible level of quality. And since all manufacturers have lagged a bit on this issue and are making wireless advancements in it, because of the strong pressure and innovation from the Chinese space in this area, we have stepped up our efforts and we are extremely proud of the progress we have made. Certainly there arrives a unique series. This is our Solo Pro2 Special Edition model. And you know, it's only genuine when ROBOSCHAF RS Pro2 or ROBOSCHAF RS Pro3 is included when you turn it on. Here comes the question, what do we have for the standard model from Solo at Alco? By the way, take a look at the ratings of Solo at Alco. How high this brand already stands in terms of quality. In short, Alco is a major garden technology corporation based in Germany and Austria, which has established a high-quality specialist brand called Solo. Diff. Between Alco and Solo at Alco, ratings, as mentioned, consistently rank among the top. Yes, and at Solo with Alco, we have really elevated our game with RS Pro2 and RS Pro3 designed specifically for RoboSheep, and the story is quickly explained. We have access to software areas where a normal dealer and an end customer cannot reach. We have access to the hardware because we desired the finest of the finest. You know it, my skilled video on it, where I delve into the subject of mowing equipment, one of the best ever. And with regards to sustainability, you can now see it at number 1, which was handed over to us in Obdach about 3 months ago on the occasion of our leadership meeting. We have all personally signed for the quality, because we promise you it is the least expensive lawn robot you can purchase over a duration of 10 years. I won't keep it a secret, the prices for that are around 2,000 euros. So how should I phrase that now? A classification for professionals at the entry level. By omitting everything that is not necessary, the quality that remains is such that I would typically spend 4,000 euros on it. And as a result, the outcome is also of a corresponding nature. As I said, of course, there will be a focus on the YouTube channel, and this leads me to an announcement now. Yes, it is possible to witness the software development utilizing version 1, in which we actively participated in a particularly complex installation process. And most of you will now recognize your garden exactly on the sketch. We mow 60 centimeter wide narrow strips up to 40 meters in length without any problem. We have 10 entry points, of course. We have no RTK shadows anywhere because they don't exist. And we are aiming for 10 years of sustainability. There is no need to say more about it, and that brings me to the point on this loop now. To make a comparison, it is important to consider that it is highly representative of all the properties that currently exist in the present day. And here we will introduce Husqvarna's new 410XE with edge cut technology, and we will talk about the International Maritime Organization, IMO 5 regulations. We will pit a machine manufactured by Kress in a wired version against Zucchetti, and of course we cannot forget to mention the Solo Pro2, which will also be part of the competition. And I assure you, with my name, that I will be completely objective in the test and provide accurate information about everything. And then you can assess and make judgments for yourselves. Let's engage in a bit of coming to terms with the past by providing an overview and gaining insight into the near future. This is the outdoor robot that manages my private property here, where no individual has been able to achieve the cutting quality thus far that I could replace it with any alternative choice. The item, if you please, is a total of 8 years old. Within it, there is a Stihl farmer sickle mower from the 632-632B generation, which is a model produced by Stihl. And anyone who rewinds our YouTube videos about 3 or 4 years ago on the channel knows that it was one of the most exceptional lawn robots in the world, and it still holds that distinction to this day. This year, We take this as an opportunity to create a special model based on the old 632, 632B, but with the coolest tunings you can imagine. If you're interested in this, it will cost a few euros. However, if you get in touch with us, we will create a cutting quality for your lawn VX that only the spindle can match. Yeah, but what about style? You all know my shorts, my videos, my outfits, and my quite critical video last year on the topic of iMow Evo, the new generation of style and fashion. Yes, and for those who have watched the video in detail, they know he wasn't impressed. No, I'm not either. Stihl was one of our most significant suppliers. That is also related to independence and the credibility of that independence. And I haven't reported anything else about it in the subsequent year because I simply wanted to give the company the opportunity to fix errors that occurred in the new iMow based on a good collaboration from the past. And therefore, as announced earlier, a revival on the YouTube channel in the test this year. I heard there is a tremendous amount of new stuff. Naturally, we will also witness the capabilities of the new Evo fleet from Stihl. Yes, my loved ones, evening sun, amazing. I'd like to check out the tech radar with you at this moment. We will examine the items that ROBOSCHAF has on its radar and assess how they appear during our investigation. And I have shown you our Technology Radar 2024 in its entirety, without any filtering, including all the names that are listed on it. Well, what have we just observed? Right in the center of the circle located in Zone 1. Ambrogio, Solo, Bialco, and Husqvarna are all essential. All three systems are sensational and naturally represent the core of our quality. Yes, as you can see, Stiga is coming in row 2. So beautiful. Yes, as I explained to you, it will be exciting in the YouTube series. Cress, also becoming a member of the group of 2. I have heard quite a bit about our specially designated Cress Center in Augsburg, where Jakob Schweighofer will get in touch with you to have a discussion with me and provide updates on how things are progressing with the ROBOSCHAF group involving Cress. We essentially consider the robot RTK and non-RTK in Augsburg, but mainly RTK. And the cable-bound, narrow, passage-capable systems, we will examine them together with me at this location, utilizing the iMow Evo series and the Solo Pro 2, focusing specifically on the property that is relevant to narrow passages. Style is drifting us a bit away from the duo into the trio circle. That naturally hurts. But this year we will also see how that has evolved and whether style can now move back towards the center. Yes, Bell Robotics, not a crucial system for us. Large area soccer field. For us, outside the radar, there is also the yard walk innovation. Yes, I need to provide you with some information about a quokka. He is standing in front of me. That was a very exciting collaboration with China. This is a cable-connected robot. Why did we even become aware of it? It underlines a bit that we are not fundamentally skeptical of China. We are definitely not. The manufacturer approached us with a small statement, "Nothing will be wireless." We have conducted tests on it, but it is not functioning. We desire to operate it by utilizing cables, and we also aim to recover the tracks through the cables. And we want to relocate tracks within the cables. Yes, that was truly valuable and deserving of a more thorough examination to us. There stands one of the prototypes, one of 30 that have left China. The second thing that was extremely credible there is that it takes 4 to 5 years to be ready with the lawn robot in a professional quality. So a completely different statement such as, we have something new here, come over, bam, and so on and so forth. The team was very motivated with me. We examined it. The robot actually operates based on a non-RTK principle within a loop in the tracks. Yes, and in many team conferences, we eventually realized that it's still far from being implemented naturally, but it's exactly as agreed. Kind of the statement, here could be something coming that actually moves us from the doubles to the singles circle. We will, of course, continue to keep an eye on Mammotion. We will also monitor Segway to see how the topic develops in the future. Not yet stable enough in terms of stability to be perceived in our range of quality. That functions. Works Vision. You can all remember my funny video from the year the software was really terrible, and at the beginning. However, yes, there have been software updates, and I will definitely provide an update on Works Vision regarding the extent to which Works has been able to enhance the software. Works and Crests are acknowledged as products originating from the same company, with Bossitech serving as the manufacturer behind them. Bossitech is owned by Don Gao. As I mentioned in the expert video earlier this year, they have effectively achieved a position of market leadership. Then there are a bunch of small ones that we have on the radar: Zoff, Robotic, Milagro, Landscape, Hook, and Duimi. Dreamy wanted to come up with a LiDAR system, similar to EcoFlow. What about Ecovacs and Heisenberg? Let's start with Ecovacs. So, Ecovacs is an ultra-wideband system that works with bacons, and we simply say, we are familiar with all the batteries inside. One quickly has 30 monocells in operation, which one may have to change possibly, but certainly every year, possibly even in between. And in the event that you relocate one of those lanterns to that location, and every spring without fail, a new programming becomes necessary. Make your own judgment, Heisenberg or Wattix. We haven't really had on our radar evaluated the weight distribution of the robot from a distance, and we currently find it intriguing, but I don't want to provide further details about it at this time. Stihl and Gardena are both hardware store products, pure magnifying glasses. Gardena is presently experiencing a significant loss to Works, so we will refrain from testing it at this time. Currently, Yard Force and Greenworks are alike identical. In reality, we have Honda on our radar in the stunning region of Tyrol, where there is also a wealth of knowledge regarding the all-wheel drive subject. I will link you the video again from Peter Sonwever, endurance test in Tyrol. Sensational. And Peter has the Honda vehicle exactly on the radar and will join me this year in providing a comprehensive and professional report on it on your dedicated YouTube channel. Yes, you have the ability to see it. That is the technology radar active that is currently being utilized. Now, some names are added where I have you up to date. And then, even with a large budget, it is indeed necessary to create a small test plan, because otherwise it completely gets out of hand. I would like to thank you. Whatever is interesting in this industry, you will find out here. And obviously, as I have mentioned multiple times in the beginning, a subscription assists us in maintaining this program and unquestionably enables us to continue testing it for you.